Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Hope you all are doing wonderful. Feeling great. Have your coffee, your tea, your water. Ah. Couple more shuffles. Maybe 10 more shuffles. I'm just going to shuffle until I don't want to shuffle. How about that? Okay. Thank you. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second here. Let me gather my things. All right. This Ace of Swords is sticking out. Spirit is telling me to start with it. There could be someone who wants to show you that they care about you, that they love you. Maybe they want to prove to you that they care about you. This could be someone, maybe you doubted their affection for you. You doubted that they cared about you collective at one point or another. But they could be wanting to prove themselves. Maybe they're showing back up in your life out of nowhere and you're like, where you come from? You know, all of a sudden they want to show and prove that they care about you, that they love you. They want you to trust them now. This could be someone you was once in a relationship with as well. Maybe things didn't go well between you two. You went your separate ways, and now this person is back. They want a second chance. Okay, I'm hearing the second time around. They want another chance, collective. They want to prove their love. Every day I gotta prove my love. Okay. There could have been several reasons for you and this person breaking up. It could have been several reasons why this relationship didn't go the distance the first time. I'm picking up for some of you, it could have been financial. Maybe someone was stingy and the other one wasn't. Okay. And maybe that person was just not stingy, just used to living on a budget, or was just very mindful of how they spent their money. This could have been a live-in situation. Maybe there were constant debates and arguments about where money was going. This is the type of relationship where I'm saying maybe you had to constantly explain. You've been shopping again. Is that a new purse? Is them new shoes? That kind of energy, and it could have grown to be an annoying thing to you, and the arguments just became out of hand. You could be someone who's used to living a life of doing what you want. Very abundant. You can be from a family or a background that is very financially secure as well. So your upbringing and what you are accustomed to is different from what this person wanted to enforce in this relationship. They wanted to control the finances. Even your finances I'm picking up. So this is very different. Okay. So this relationship didn't last because of battle over finances, not because you were broke, not because they were broke. They were tight. They were clenched fists, and you were used to, look, I'm gonna live my life. I'm not gonna, store all my treasures here. And this is someone who lived on a budget, a strict budget, I'm hearing. Okay. So maybe you two were from different backgrounds as far as upbringing. And so they are accustomed to having that mindset because they want to be responsible. But I'm picking up, they were like overdoing it. This is someone who never wanted to ever splurge, never ever wanted to buy themselves a new pair of shoes. Maybe you had to force them like, honey, it's time to go buy some shoes. It's time to go buy some clothes. That kind of energy. So this was a relationship where you always maintain a nice appearance, and you wanted your spouse to maintain a nice appearance, but they were so stingy and such a tight fist when it comes to money that this person didn't even want to spend money on themselves. This is a different read. This is different. This is different. Okay. Their goal was the Nine of Cups, but because they had a lack mentality, it caused a wedge in between you. So this is not a reading of them being broke or you being broke. This is a reading of two people being in a relationship where you were financially on two different pages. Okay. Like I said, you're from a background where you're used to having, you're used to, if you want to splurge, you splurge. Okay. If you want to make it rain, you're making it rain. Okay. If you want top shelf, you're having top shelf. And this person is someone who possibly when you met them, they came off as if, they had it like that. But the more the relationship went forward, male or female, you found out that they weren't who they presented. You found out that this was their representative, that this person is actually a person that is employed, they're independent, but they're stingy, they're tight. Okay. And it became an annoyance because they wanted to question your finances, what you're spending it on. Why are you buying that? Why are you doing this? And it became a problem. I'm also getting could have been a lot of explosive arguments or disagreements, a lot of quarreling in front of family and friends whenever you were in a social group as well. And this it became very embarrassing. It had you in the energy of the Five of Cups, about the relationship. It became embarrassing. This is someone likely to make a scene, a loud outburst, in front of others regarding what you're doing with your finances. And yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing someone actually with with torn, tattered gym shoes and not even wanting to buy a new pair of shoes. It's time. The sole is wearing out. And if you don't have support in your shoes, we understand that there are people who can't afford to buy clothing and shoes. There are people who are less fortunate, but this is someone who had the money but wouldn't even spend it on themselves. Yeah. Because once you lose support inside of a shoe, it's no good. It's garbage. Really. Okay. Yeah. And so, when you first met this person, like I said, they presented themselves to be in the Nine of Cups energy, but you found out that that was their representative. This is not who they truly and actually was. They turned out to be someone else totally different. Okay. Your goal when you met them, you thought that, you would be with this person, have a family, and maybe build something with them. But they became to be also, I'm getting verbally abusive as well. The way they talk to you. I just said I picked up someone arguing in front of people. They had no filter, no control over their emotions or their temperament. But I'm picking up this was about money, finances. They want to control every dime that you spend. Even it's not their money; it's your money. They want to control when you should go shopping and why are you buying that and telling you what you don't need. That can be pretty annoying. That's like going shopping with someone, period, and they're in the stores asking you why are you buying that. That could be annoying. It could. I don't blame you. You left this connection, and I don't blame you. Okay. Yeah, this person is someone, you want to shop and have the finer things in life. And, you're someone who sees the cup as half full, not only because you are from a family that's abundant, or could be possibly well off. You just don't believe in hovering, all your coins, okay? And this is someone, as I was just speaking about shoes, who wanted to hang on, he has his back turned instead of coming to the counter and say, "Oh, what fragrance is that? You gonna get that, baby? Yeah, put that in the box for my baby. What else you want?" This person has their back turned, trying to avoid spending any coins, and you're like, "I got my debit card on me anyway. I don't need you." you know. Yeah, I'm getting a stingy energy here. A penny pincher. Someone very stingy, a penny pincher. Meanwhile, you're very adventurous, male or female. You're into living your life and having fun, and no one and nothing is getting in the way. And I love this energy. It's not arrogant, it's not haughty, but you're into living life. It's like having a bunch of new clothes and never wearing them, and you just keep them in your closet and look at them. Like, when are you going to wear them? You don't need to go somewhere to wear them clothes. You wake up every day, you need to change your clothes every day. You know what? Put those clothes on today. Do your makeup, do your hair, whatever it is. Put them on. What are you saving these things for? Okay? Beautiful. I love this energy. I love your energy, whoever you are, okay? You're into gathering with like minded energy now. You're no longer entertaining. I don't think you will ever date another person moving forward, because I'm picking up you gave this person time. You possibly even lived with this person, and it became a argument and disagreements. Even when the bills are paid on time, this is someone who still didn't want to spend a dime. Very cheap. A very cheap person. This is so different. Ooh wee. And with the Six of Wands, that's what caused you to look the other way. You're like, look, I know there's something else out there. This ninja is too cheap and stingy. I know there's something else out there. So with the Six of Wands, you've moved on with your life to go celebrate with someone else who isn't stingy, someone who has a giving nature. That is a turnoff. A clenched fist gets no one anywhere. It's okay to save. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're to the point where you're so cheap, you don't even want to replace a pair of shoes for yourself, or you have holes in your underwear and you don't even want to replace those. That's a whole nother ball game. Okay. Because I even picked up, even the bills were paid on time and they still had a problem. You want to go catch a movie tonight? No, it's not in the budget. Why? Why not? Why not? This kind of person, you can be like, well, it's on me tonight. No, save it. What are we saving it for? Just ridiculously stingy. Yeah, penny pincher, a miser, miser, miser. Okay. And it's really a lack mentality. That's not a positive. When you refuse to replace something and you actually have the money to do it that you need, especially, that's a lack mentality, and that is low vibrational energy. What else the collective need to know about this penny pinching ex who wants to come back into their life? This person wants to come back into your life. This could be a karmic as well, collective. This could just be a karmic. Karmics will go in and out. They will re-arrive in your life, especially around Mercury retrograde. Um, so don't be fooled. People say if they leave and they come back, it's yours. No, if they leave and come back, sometimes it's just a test. Are you going to pass the test? Are you going to allow this person into your life, or are you going to pass the test? Because they want to come back and whisper sweet nothings in your ear. And they're saying, with the Ace of Swords, they're saying, they got new energy for you and they want to communicate. You know, um, they could also be letting you know, I just want to talk to have some kind of closure. And you might be like, closure? I've been closed that off. What you need to close? What you need to close, Ninja? We've been closed that off. When people will make up anything to have their way. But this person may even say that to you. They need closure. They love you. They realize they love you. They made some mistakes, but there's a reason. If a person, is thinking like that, there's a reason for that. It's a deeper rooted issue of why they are a miser or a penny pincher, or why they feel that they're in lack constantly, where they're afraid to live their life. Yeah, and so we have the Four of Wands, and it's upside down. Okay. And so the Four of Wands, this represents conflict and instability and cancellation. So this person, like I said, they are karmic, and they may arrive like they have something beautiful to offer you. They just want you to hear them out. They may even come with a bouquet of flowers, male or female. But this person is coming to create some kind of instability in your life. They know that you have moved on. Karmics do that also. When they know they have no control, they'll find a way to re-enter your life to create some kind of instability, to kind of get you sidetracked from the energy that you're in. They're fully aware even that you could be in a new relationship and that you have moved on and that you're happy. And because they know this, they will pop up and arrive, and they'll use all kind of things. Someone passed away, someone is ill. If you have children, they could use your children, saying, oh, they just missed the kid. A karmic and a narcissist will use all kinds of things to gain access into your life. Okay. But they're just pulling on your heartstrings there with the Seven of Pentacles. They know that you have planted seeds somewhere else, and they know that you're happy. You know, this could be something you're posting online, or maybe you have a friend in common with your ex. Maybe there's an associate, someone you socialize with, who could be friends with your ex. And people have conversation. How so and so? Oh, they're doing great. Oh, yeah, they're married, they're engaged, or they're dating so and so, or I saw them the other day, they look good, they're losing weight or whatever, yeah. So they're aware that there's some kind of positive energy. With the Six of Swords here, this is moving on to a calm or peaceful situation. And this could be romantically for you. You've moved on. They feel the detaching. The more and the longer as time go on and you're no longer talking to this person, they feel you detaching. They feel that energetic cord being severed. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And so the next card we have here is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is you being very determined to stand in your power. And Spirit is saying to make sure that you continue to do so because this person is coming to create instability in your life. Yeah, isn't that so diabolical? Isn't that low down? Okay, they're coming to whisper sweet nothings, and they're coming like they came before. When you first met them, they presented themselves as if they were the Nine of Pentacles. They presented themselves as if, they were very romantic, abundant. They didn't mind spoiling you. They could have been very giving at the beginning. A man or woman of their word. You felt like you could trust them. That's to will you in. When you meet a person, you're meeting the representative. That's to will you in and to gain your trust. So they're coming again with their same old tactics and tricks, presenting themselves as if they are healed. They no longer have a lack mentality. They're not stingy. They will take you out on dates now, that kind of thing. Because I'm picking up this person. The longer the relationship went on, they didn't even want to go, take you out on dates, or they didn't want to do anything with you. They wanted to actually sit in the house and bump, 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 and that's it. And like, that's whack and lame. I mean, how long do you think a person's going to stick around for that? I mean, I'm just saying. They didn't want to do anything. Maybe they started off, taking you out to dinner or going to a concert or traveling out of town and going places. But it turned to very drab, the more comfortable. And once you moved in with them, it turned very drab. Like, here, this is what it is. This is who I really am. I'm stingy. I have a lack mentality. Because right now the sun is shining on you, whether you are single or you have moved on. You're in a better space and place, and Spirit is saying do not allow yourself to reattach to this person whom you have already experienced. One thing about returning to karmic relationships or narcissists or any unhealthy connection, a person, just clearly collective, you have to keep in mind, they've already had their time with you. They've already experienced you, whether it's romantic, a friendship, a family member. When you choose to cut ties with someone, remember there was a reason. And you can forgive a person. You can wholeheartedly forgive a person without giving them access into your life. You don't have to be in communication with the person or be in their lives or vice versa to forgive them. You can surrender what they have done and forgive them and not give them access to your life. And there's a lot of situations where people have to do that because maybe the conditions isn't favorable for their highest good if they were to allow this person into their life. Spirit is saying, keep in mind the whole reason, idea of why you have chose to cut ties with a person or no longer communicate with them. There's a reason and a purpose for that. And Spirit is also saying, keep in mind, there are very few. Wait, that's too much. That's too much. What? There are very few. There are very few who are really doing the work of healing. It's just the truth. It's not me being bold or arrogant. It's just the truth. There are very few who are really doing the necessary work of healing themselves, of forgiving themselves. There are very few who will return to your life and genuinely, want to have a turnover, a new leaf with you, wants to have a new start. People come with resentment and they want to get revenge and they want to get even. and folks have a chip on their shoulder and they be having insecurities and all kind of unresolved issues within them. So be careful. It's very important. You do not have to allow people back into your life if it's not for your highest good, if they're not conducive to your well-being. It would be a sacrifice, a waste of time, and it could be very risky and dangerous to allow someone who you broke ties with back into your life, even if they are family. Even it could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. Sometimes you have to keep those times. Excuse me, I shouldn't say sometimes. 99.99%, you have to keep those ties severed, because the person will present themselves like the representative. They'll come with a smile, and then sooner or later they will reveal to you their resentment. It'll come up in an argument, a disagreement. See, that's why. See, that's why. See, that's why. You see what I'm saying? They'll reveal it to you in the actions and something they say to you, an argument, and it's just not worth it. Once a person has experienced you, life is so precious. Your currency, which is your time here on planet Earth, is so valuable and precious. Once you've given a person their time with you and they choose to sabotage it, let it be. Leave them over there and you stay over here. There is no reason to make up, to allow them back into your life, because that resentment, they will suppress it. That's the representative. And then they will unleash it. They'll wait till they got you back in their good grips or grasp, and then they'll unleash it on you, especially if it is a family or a group of friends. Some of them may even gang up on you and try to plot against you, or attack you. It could be verbal. It could be spiritual. It could be emotional. I hope it ain't physical, but hey, be mindful of that. This person has had their time with you and they showed you who they are. And whatever's going on for them to be in that energy where they wanted to have disagreements with you in front of people and not show you respect or consideration, just being considerate, wanting to argue over twos and fews, fives and tens, wanting to argue over numbers. No one wants to deal with that. And I picked up earlier, it was very stressful for you. So that's why you chose to leave it. They can't be your peace when they're full of turmoil. No one can be your peace and they're full of turmoil or chaos. So they have a lot of unresolved within them. This is someone who is just looking for an energy supply. So a narcissist and a karmic will come and search and go wherever they can get a supply. It's like a punching bag. It's like a boxer is practicing and they hitting the bag. A narcissist, and karmics, they need an energy supply. They need someone to cipher that energy from. So they'll go to whoever they can get their hands or they grasp on to get that energy supply. There are so many. I can't stop saying it because Spirit is telling me to say so many people who are moving about, who we pass by daily, who are carrying so much unresolved, so much resentment and hatred, so much resentment and hatred. They don't like themselves, collective. And when a person don't like themselves, what do you think they feel about you? And you don't even need to waste your time thinking about what they feel about you. What you need to do is make sure you keep that door closed and let it be. They've had their time. And when you assert yourself on someone's timeline and the expired sign is flashing, letting you know that your time is up here, it's time to go, that's when you get caught in the crossfire of someone else's karmic energy. That's when things can dismantle in your life because you're forcing yourself or you're allowing someone back in that doesn't belong there. So things will start feeling a little shaky, baby, because, the energy that is there doesn't belong there. It doesn't resonate with the vibration or the frequency. You over here working on being healed. You ain't over here being toxic. You over here working on being healed. You calm. You want to mess with, you calm. I'll leave that. You calm. You want to mess with this. The one that can't stay still, the one that can't think right, the one that don't have no clarity. This them. Oh, I need a supply. Oh, there's a calm one. There's someone with some light energy. Oh, let me come shake their world up and get them shooken up with me. Let me come shake their world up. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. So don't allow anyone to vamp you of your energy, of your peace, of your harmony, especially when you're working on restoring that. Leave the toxic people out of your life. And who cares if they were a great lover or they gave you fleeting moments? There's a lot of fleeting moments, and there's a lot of people who can give you fleeting moments. When they made one good one, they didn't stop with that one. And take that however it resonates. Someone needs to know that. Don't allow, your flesh to make you make a decision you may regret, just because somebody has some good. And what's attached to that good is toxicity. It's drama, trauma, frustration. Somebody who like to go in rage, like to make a scene, embarrassing. The type, if you're in an apartment, have management calling you like, what's that noise? One more time, you out of here. You don't need that in your life. You don't need all that. So leave that where it is, because you have clearly moved on. You have moved on, and they know it. Don't allow this person to come and dismantle what you are building. Okay. Don't allow it. Okay. People return with resentment. It's just like if a person hasn't seen you in a long time. This could be a lover, a friend, a schoolmate, someone you used to date, whomever. Because of social media, folks will get on social media and they'll throw your name into the search bar, knowing darn well they don't like you. They don't like you. They never did like you. And that's because really they don't like themselves. But because they're bored and they don't have nothing to do, or they're in a relationship and they're not happy. Oh, let me see what so and so is doing. No, no, but social media allows people to do that. You know what I'm saying? No, everybody is not interested. Everybody's not gonna friend you back. Everybody's just not interested. What folks had in their 20s, they don't want now. What folks had when they was, back then, they don't want that now. No, 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 no. So don't allow this person, with me saying all that, to look you up on any social media site, because everyone's on social media, even if you post once a year, don't allow this person to look you up and assert themselves into your life. And you have made your mind up. You done with that. Don't find yourself, oh, because I'm bored, I'm just chatting with them online. No, 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 no. One initial contact, whether it's through a text message, phone call, DM, or receiving a friend request on social media, is the same thing as allowing access. That's for someone who needs to hear it. Don't be fooled into moving backwards. And God wants you to move forward, because there's favor and opportunity here. There's favor. That's the 10 of Cups. You got the 10 of Cups, the Sun, and the 6 of Swords, and the 6 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. These are all positive high cards. So don't allow them to come back into your life and dismantle, because the 4 of Wands is upside down. That means they want to dismantle. They're coming to play a game with you. And you need to also keep in mind, friend, man, lover, whomever, you don't know what nobody has been into since you last seen them. You don't know what they up to, what they into, what they do in their spare time. You don't know psychologically where their mental state is. Be careful with linking up with Dusties. Be careful with dusting off the old black book. Be careful with that. When they was, elementary, yeah, he was so cute. He was my crush. That was in elementary, baby. Yeah, in high school, he was my boyfriend. That was in high school, baby. You don't know what none of these people are up to. Be careful. That's somebody needs to hear that. Take your energy and your life very serious. Don't allow people to play with you and play with your well-being, your safety, your family. Don't allow it. Give them no response at all. They've had their time with you, and they forfeit their turn. So be in agreement with that. This concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.